Hey everyone, my name is Vicky Simos and I'm the founder and host of the Boxer Within podcast. In this series, I will be chatting to those who care for young people on the spectrum with mental health issues and developmental issues. We will discuss their struggles, learn more to understand about their challenges and the joys that goes with looking after the vulnerable. We will also discuss the impact that martial arts has had on these young people. Lastly, I will also invite experts to share their opinions. We will discuss the impact that martial arts has had on these young people. I will also invite experts to share their opinion on the topic. If you would like to know more, reach out and follow me, Vicky Simos, on all social channels. To learn more about my approach with martial arts and mental health, please visit the website on the screen. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe and tune in for the next episode of the Boxer Within podcast. Hi, Adrian, and thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
Did you want to start by telling us a bit about your life now?
My current life, how will I start? Basically, I'm married, 2 kids, work in sales. Yeah, that's about it really. Just family man, always on the go. Pretty much don't get much time to ourselves these days, but that's life. Yeah, that's how we go. Yeah.
Well, speaking of life, tell us about a typical day.
Typical day would be probably a very early start in the morning, making sure everyone's got their lunches and ready for school, their school stuff's ready, running everyone off to school, get them there, do a day's work, pick them up, and round 2, obviously getting the meals ready for the night and getting everyone ready for their after school activities. And yeah, before you know it, another day starts all over again. Yeah.
Sounds busy. You mentioned you're in the automotive sales industry now. What drew you to that field?
Previously, many years ago, I was an automotive spray painter. So I did that for about 15, 16 years, somewhere around that, and sort of ventured out into the paint side of things. And now I've moved on to after sales, after care, car care and stuff like that. Yeah. Workshop tools. Yeah.
Nice.
It's busy too. Yeah.
You left school at 16 to pursue auto refinishing. Really bold decision at that age. What prompted you to leave education early, and how did your family react?
It's a bit of a funny story, that one, actually, because
Can't wait.
My family didn't actually know I left school. So I basically went and got myself an apprenticeship. Obviously left home in the morning in the school uniform. I can't remember exactly where I got changed on the way to school or at the workplace. And yeah, obviously 2 weeks went by. I thought, this is great, going really well. Got myself a job, making money. Come home one day, then, obviously my mum was waiting for me at the door and was not impressed. Obviously the school got in contact with her and said, where's your son? Where's he been for 2 weeks? And I'm going, I've been to school. He goes, no, you have not been to school. I'm going, yeah, I have. He goes, no. And she'll, in a panic, start checking my arms and think I was obviously went down the wrong tracks, make sure she thought I was doing drugs like that. So, I've probably done the wrong thing by leaving school. But I obviously in my mind, I did the right thing because it wasn't working for me. Obviously, it was a bit beyond me. So I decided to take it by myself and get myself a job. So that was the early years, what got me into that job there. So
yeah. I have to ask, though, coming from a European background as well, what did your mother think?
Oh, not impressed at all, because obviously that, for them, education's huge, especially her family as well. They were all well educated and had very good jobs, So for someone to go from that down to, into a trade, it was pretty frowned upon. So, yeah. But hey, we're still here. Pretty happy with it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I guess looking back, do you think leaving school at 16 was the right choice for you?
Oh, definitely not.
So what would you tell your 16-year-old self then?
Don't be silly. Stick it out. Do the hard yards. Life's going to be hard no matter what you do. So, but, obviously would have been a better choice sticking at school and roughing it out. And, because, obviously being on tools and labouring was very hard on the body. It's over the years it's done some damage. You're obviously constantly working. You hurt yourself and poison yourself being a spray painter too. So, I highly recommend myself stick it out, find a better option. Don't leave school.
Fair enough. So let's go back and say you took the different path and stayed in school. What would you have done?
That is an interesting question. Oh, geez. Oh, never really thought about that. So, yeah, but I don't know. I'll probably have to skip that question. I couldn't give you a definite answer on that, but definitely not, definitely not an automotive trade. It was,
Yeah.
I would have to think something about it. Maybe something to do with sports and maybe even education myself too, because don't mind a bit of sports stuff these days. And
Nice. That's going to be one of our later questions, so you can elaborate on that a bit later. That's great.
Yeah.
That said, we're going to move on to some questions about autism and neurodivergence.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that both your children are on the spectrum. When did you first become aware of autism, and how has that journey been for your family?
Probably when both of them were at the age of 3 or 4. Probably one of them, it's my second one, my daughter, she a bit later on in life, but my son, he a little bit different, a little bit, I could say quirky in some ways, just then obviously we went done with the we call it pediatrician nurses saying, he's got autism, and I'm going, no, he can't, he's a very bright kid. Again, I didn't know what autism was, so going, what 2.5-year-old can read books fluently? I'm going to myself, so he's a bright kid. I don't think there's something wrong with him, but obviously he did have a lot of traits now. Looking back at it and going, 100% he's autistic, yeah. But that's what makes him who he is. He's quite unique, and I'm very fond of him actually. He's a great kid, and same as my daughter too. She's the same too. They're both a little bit unique in their ways, but that's what makes them who they are, and they're great people. I wish there would, in some ways, I guess the world should be more people like them, because they're honest, they're truthful, and they say it the way it is, and there's no mucking around with lies and stuff like that. So.
That's really nice to hear. I love when parents talk so highly about their children, so it's really nice to hear. Moving on to that, has learning about autism in your children given you any insights about yourself or how you experience the world?
Oh, definitely. Again, there was moments where we just thought, these kids being very frustrating. Why is it so difficult? We're just trying to do simple tasks, like I said, example, go to school, or back then go back to, childcare, or just simple things, go to a concert, and, obviously you spent money, you bought an event, you spent a lot of money to go to an event, something they really love to see. Get to the front doors, no, we're not going in. And I'm going, well, you love these guys, don't you want to go see them? And they go, no. And there'd be tantrums, and again, didn't understand what it was. So obviously it was anxiety, there was a lot going on, a lot of people, obviously movement, bright lights, whatever it was. But, then obviously learning, these are triggers which people with anxiety and stuff like that as well, you got to work with them and understand, okay, this is the scenario we're in now, so we've got to adapt. So, there's been a lot of adapting over the years, and a lot of changes, a lot of things where we've just had to back off and realize, okay, we can't do that because it's not going to be good for anyone. So, yeah.
Do you want to give me a couple of examples on how you did that and how you sort of progressed in making those changes and adapting?
Yeah, okay. Give me a few seconds. I've got to go back in time and have a bit of a think. Like I said, we did go to a concert many years ago, it was just too much for him. So we had to basically leave that time. But other times we have been to other concerts where obviously we put the muffs on the ears, which obviously took the sound a bit, probably maybe a bit of a safety net for him at the same time. So that was a goal there. Just easing into situations where start small feet, sometimes you might be able to do it this time. So gradual steps. A simple thing like maybe even going to the park, had to be just gradual steps. Okay, we're at the park today. That's as far as we got. Okay, all right, next step, we'll try to get into the playground and work with that, yeah? And same as that too. Even, I think initially he's done a bit of martial arts in very early years. And again, the first 1 or 2 times was very difficult to get him to do it. But, obviously with good teachers have obviously got good skills around handling kids. They've obviously worked with people at these situations before and eased them into it and let them go at their own pace when they're ready. And that's, before you know it, with time and a bit of hard work and sweat and all that angry moments she was holding back, it's worked, yeah. So
nice. Well, on the martial arts subject, which was going to be one of my questions, when did they first start into the martial arts?
They both started pretty young. I would say maybe 5 or 6. Then they had a break for a bit. Obviously, I can't remember what even that virus we had 20 years ago. It stuffed a few things up.
What virus are you talking about? No, I'm kidding.
Bloody stupid thing we had was destroyed life and years. That was a hard time too, actually. Yeah, but yeah. Then we obviously started again, and then that's made a big difference just with their confidence and understanding of life and the way we treat people and stuff like that. It's been a massive impact. I would say it's definitely made them who they are as well as a person, a lot stronger,
Yeah,
a lot confident.
that's really good to hear. So how long were they doing the martial arts? You said they started at 5?
Yeah, about 5 and 6, around that age there. Yeah. Yeah. What martial arts was it, you said? Or
Yeah, what martial arts and how long did they do it for? I know you said that they got into it at 5, 6 and then they stopped a bit.
Yeah, Krav Maga, they were doing that for a couple of years until we got locked down, and that sort of just put that on the hold. Then obviously we could go back out again and start doing that again, and yeah, that's when they started really getting back into it and going hard at it and pushing at it and enjoying life. Yeah.
That's good. Are they still both doing it?
Just the one.
Yeah.
My son. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Have you ever trained in the martial arts?
Oh, a little bit, but not a lot. I wouldn't say I'm great at it. Yeah, definitely.
Look, I'm sure you are. What martial arts did you dabble in?
Probably just a touch bit of boxing, but nothing. Just muck around. Yeah, hitting a bag.
Nice.
The bag.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, like I said, martial arts, I've got a question for you. So what role, if any, has physical activity or sports played in your life or your children's development? I know you spoke a little bit about your children and how it's helped them, but how has it sort of reflected on you and how has it helped you deal, at home and life? And
well, yeah, you have those rough days, when everything just seems like it's doom and gloom. It's an outlet. You go out there and just doesn't matter how bad things are. You can go out there and maybe, like I said, hit the bag and sweat it all out. And at the end of it, you go, it wasn't that bad after all. And it sort of I don't know if it releases some sort of the negativity for your body and it just gets some clarity out of it. So I think it does a huge part, even with the kids themselves. I know some days can see they've had a rough trot, especially with my son, and he does a session or whatever, and he comes back and he's very focused, very different person. So I could definitely say martial arts is a good thing, definitely.
that's really good to hear. Thank you. Moving on, have you found any particular activities or routines that have helped your family manage stress or build confidence? I know you said about the martial arts and hitting the bag.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to add to that?
Well, just getting out and going for a walk, or going for a drive somewhere just for the day and just, go down the coast and have a bit of a swim down the beach, something like that. Yeah, that's just a nice outlet as well. Just feels like a nice cleanse, just getting some fresh air or getting in the water. That's a good way.
Yeah, that's definitely important. Have you ever done any of those cold plunges, jump into the ocean at minus something degrees?
No, I haven't been that game enough. The only time I did that, I think many years ago with that gas crisis, we had no gas. That was going back, probably 20 years, maybe more. And we had no hot water for a couple of weeks. That was the only cold plunge I've ever done.
Yeah, I've often thought about it, but I've never done it either. Yeah. Well, maybe one day. Yeah. So we're just moving on to the mental health side of things. Yeah. So being a parent to 2 kids on the spectrum while working full time, that's a lot. How do you manage your own mental health?
It's a good question. It's probably something I probably do neglect myself, honestly. Again, every now and again, probably go for a bike ride or a bit of a run or something just to get the outlets out there. But just find that spare time is very difficult too because, it can be very demanding. As you said, working full time, running around to appointments, trying to manage work. And at the same time, generally sometimes they do clash, which we try not to clash them because, obviously work wouldn't be too impressed if you're doing that during work hours. So, my own mental health, probably something I probably need to look at myself. But
on that subject, and you mentioned work, but is there part of your work maybe that allows to have some, free time? Or I know we can have days off and things like that, take it as a sick leave or whatever, but some companies do offer or workplaces do offer some days off, but it's not a sick leave. It's more of a your own sort of time, day off for focusing on your mental health. Is that something that you think more business or companies should implement?
Oh, definitely. I know we do offer it. I probably should take it up a bit more. But yeah, it's definitely a company should take it. Obviously, you got to rest every now and again. If the brain's overloaded, you're not going to function well. You're going to half do things and not do things correctly just to get through. And that's, definitely. Everyone needs that mental break at some point in their life. Yeah, no matter what. There could be things going on at home, even things going on at work. You just need that break. That's
definitely true. Well, there you go. That's something you should implement in your life now.
Yes,
as we've just spoken.
Yeah.
I'll have to follow that up at some stage.
Yep.
Moving on. Okay, so as you know or you don't know, the Boxer Within is what this podcast is called. What does that mean to you personally?
Boxer Within, I think everyone has that fighting spirit inside themselves. You just got to find that it's deep down somewhere inside you. If every day it's a battle. Yeah, it doesn't have to be literally in the ring. There's just going out to the shops for someone to say, or someone's got anxiety, and that's huge. That's a massive fight. Just for them to go to that shop and do what they have to do, that's a massive thing. Going to work every day, it's a fight. Yeah, especially I work in sales. It's especially at the moment with what's going on in the world. It's a tough time out there. You got to literally duck and weave and.
There you go. I love the terminology. Yes, definitely boxing terminology there.
Yeah, you definitely got to find your way around and make sure that you can find that gap and get that sweet spot.
And speaking of the sweet spots, but in all seriousness, so obviously, as we know, the world is struggling a little bit now. What's your take on it? Like in terms of your job, I guess, is it a struggle? Are you struggling to find sales? Do you want to elaborate a bit more on that?
100%. Obviously, we're all going through tough times. Everyone's watching their dollars, so everyone's looking at a cheaper option or an alternative option. So it's definitely affecting, sales side, I think 100%, compared to on past years. You go to work, do your thing, your people, but everyone's just, and there's basically another fight again. Obviously competition's trying to fight you out there. So it's a rough time at the moment out there. Definitely, I don't like being a sales, to be honest. Just plenty of time, but yeah.
Yeah, I could never do that. So good on you for doing that. But speaking of the struggles, like I have a regular pizza place, and even they who are so busy on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I walked in at 7:30 last night and it was hardly busy. So I totally appreciate the struggle.
Yeah, most industries I speak to, I do a large range of, customer bases from, car washers or, mechanical shops or even just your normal mum and dads. They're saying the businesses are very quiet at the moment, so everyone's feeling it. I think no matter what you're doing, where you are, you are feeling the pain at the moment.
Yeah, I totally, it's hard.
Yeah.
And certainly feel for a lot of people and especially families. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
So moving on, have there been moments, and I think we may have touched on this, where you've had to dig deep and find resilience you didn't know you had?
Yeah, I would say there have been times. Obviously, there was, especially going through that COVID time, that was a very tough time.
How did you deal with that? Sorry to cut you off. How did you deal with that? Can you give any examples?
Just trying to make each day fun, exciting, something new every day to do. Like even though we were locked down, we couldn't do much. We were just trying to find a new adventure every day within the home or out on the street without getting caught doing anything too dodgy.
Did you learn a new skill? Some people talked about, I learned cooking and, was there anything that you guys did together? Well, obviously together, but did you learn anything new?
I guess we had a clean house, very clean house at one stage. There's only so much you could clean. So once the house got clean, I guess everyone dabbled and dabbled a bit of cooking and just refurbishing stuff. Obviously finding old stuff we could, was obviously need a bit of a new lease on life. And actually, if it's something probably, I would say it's a release. Getting back to your earlier questions, how do you go, under stress? I'd just like to go and tinker around with something old and broken, pulling apart and give it a fresh coat of paint and tinker around with all the new bolts and bearings, whatever it needed, and get it going again. So that's, yeah.
I'm guessing that comes probably from your automotive days.
Probably was.
Pulling things apart and putting them back together, and yeah.
Yeah, I know. Geez, at one stage there, we just collected bikes off the street and just for how we just fixed them up and repaired them, just just for something to do. Yeah, so that's probably stuff like that. How we got through those battles. Yeah, just a little. Yeah.
Well, thank God for you, because you actually helped me put up a wall shield, so I could never have done that. So thank you. So moving on. What was that? Sorry?
Hasn't fallen off?
No, not yet. So far, so good.
Excellent. Good to hear.
I probably need to hit it a bit harder maybe. Yeah. And the neighbours haven't complained, so it's a good thing.
That's good. Yeah.
So moving on, what support systems, and I know you've mentioned your family, have been most valued to you, whether that's your partner, friends, community, or professional support?
Just having a good local GP. They've been very helpful just to help you get things over the line at times, because, a simple thing of getting a piece of paper signed just to get an approval, it can be quite difficult. So they've been quite helpful. Local community groups, stock sporting groups, which the kids attend, they've made a massive difference too. Just a great outlet and bonding with other people out there, people like yourself too. One of those rare individuals who take an interest in trying to mould people in the right way and teaching the right things. It's been a massive difference. I think a lot of people, not just people on the spectrum or disorders, all have a lot of trouble with youth these days. Obviously, being out there and running a muck out there, probably government should look into something along with people who actually do go off the rails a bit. Give them an outlet, say with martial arts or sports or something. Not make it so difficult for people to make it so expensive. Make it so it's in reach for everyone. It's not just for a certain group of people. That's should be well looked at from the governments, I would say. Maybe I shouldn't get too technical into it, but I think the youth is our future. Let's grow that future. Let them just rot away and be silly, running around with machetes or stealing cars or home invasions. And it wasn't something really happening many years ago. Growing up, very different era. I remember I didn't even have keys to my house. You could actually leave the window and back door open, come and go for as you want. Nothing ever happened. I mean, these days you could have Fort Knox and they'll still get in. So definitely.
That's so true. And it's funny you say that. I mean, I grew up in the country and we used to leave doors open because we didn't have aircon. Yeah. And that wouldn't even been a thought. Oh, and now we've got all these problems. But what do you think, just in your opinion, where do you think it stems from? Why is there so much crime, youth crime especially?
I don't know. It could start with the family. It could start school. There's many ways. Even at schools, I've said maybe I'm a bit old school, be a bit harder on the kids. Not at the sort of point of giving a beating, but, obviously some sort of punishments. And then again, there's no repercussions. I go, well, there should be repercussions. In real life, there's repercussions. If you do something wrong, it doesn't have to be extensive repercussion, but some sort of repercussion. Obviously you miss out half your lunch or something, or, just something very simple. Stay back 10 minutes after school, 15 minutes to say, you know what, I stuffed up. There's a repercussion for this. I'm not saying there's no repercussions and do what you want. It's okay. Swear at the teacher, nothing happens. Hit the teacher. Nothing will happen there too. That's. I think there needs to be some sort of stronger, authority doing something, saying, "Hey, that's enough. Enough's enough." Because the generation today is thinking it's quite okay to bash and rob and hit and steal, and God, we can keep going on for hours. And yeah,
this is very true. But you're absolutely right. I don't think actions have consequences these days.
Yeah, if there is, it's very minimal. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you're right. I've got friends who are teachers and whatnot, and I know of a few of them that, have either resigned or left early because of the way they have been treated, where there's no respect. So You're right. It starts at home. It starts at school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my thought. But yeah, from what I've said, a few people saying those things. Yeah.
Oh, look, you can say whatever you like. It's my podcast at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. We are almost there. So here's a work-life balance question. You've been married for 23 years. That's an incredible achievement. Well done. What's helped you maintain that relationship while you're managing everything else? You got to say nice things about your wife now,
I was
right?
about to say that. That's the first thing I said. Yeah, she's again, she's been a very understanding person in my life. Probably changed me a lot too. I guess I'm probably still am, but very stuck in my ways, my shell. I'm not a very outgoing person at all. So, I just stuck to my immediate group of people I knew, and that was it. I wouldn't venture out. Even, well, I'd go to work, do my thing. That was it. For me, even changing my career path, I owe it to her. That was a big thing. She's probably been, the big backbone of the family. She drives the whole ship. Without her, even with all her interventions she's done with the kids and stuff like that, I probably wouldn't have done all that myself. Probably being a bit naive, but she's just gone hard at it and find every option possible she can possibly get her hands on. And again, the credit to her, without the kids were there, they're in my way. I think they're in a great position. If it wasn't for her, they would really be set back and probably, yeah, they've come a long way. Many years ago, both of them were very, how do you even say it? They were very, very timid of the world. I know my son at one stage when he was probably in kindergarten, that scared where he was hiding in the toilets. They're crazy.
Oh, that's sad.
You know what I mean? They've all both had their moments, like, it was just too much for them. But just getting them out there, pushing them, getting them with the right people, she's done a big, major part for her. Look, yeah, and yeah. Without her, I'll be screwed, to be honest.
That's really nice to hear, and I'm sure she'll be so happy. And having met her a few times, yeah. I totally agree. She's definitely a force, so that's really nice to hear. That said, how do you balance the demands of your sales work with being present for your family? Because I imagine the demand is great, obviously, on both ends.
There is. I know one stage there I was probably going, it's a hard balance because sometimes, I've got to get away from the family and just focus on where I can find new leads, or obviously there's things I just have to do by certain demands or certain times. So some nights I've looked at the clock and gone, the whole night, the kids have gone to bed, I've gone like that, and like, oh geez, what happened? Where'd this all go? So I'm trying to really limit that now to, come to a certain time, say 5 o'clock, that's it, switch off. Just bad luck. Work's work. It's always work tomorrow. If I don't like it, bad luck.
That's really good because you got to be present.
That's right. There's moments I've missed out because of work too. I was actually many years ago, I think my daughter still hates me for it.
Oh, no, don't say that.
Oh, yeah, I missed her birthday, yeah, but I had a work event. Well, I've just started the job and I had a work event and I couldn't leave. I was just stuck at this event. It was pretty much my first week. It's like, oh, man.
And that's hard, isn't it? I mean, You've really got to think about it and you feel guilty on both ends because one obviously gives you finances and obviously the other one is your child. So I can only imagine the difficulty. How did you sort of make it up in the end?
I tried. I think I still pay for it. Every now and again she reminds me, you missed my birthday. Okay, yes.
Yeah, I have a feeling she'll probably keep reminding you for the next 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Kids do that. They've got a very good memory.
But yeah, I'll just try just being involved in their lives. Again, it's hard to balance because, they both like different things now. So I'll try to spend much time as I can with each one of them, give them their time. I know it's sometimes not enough, but at least I'm trying to spend.
Exactly right. And you know what? That is the main thing. At least you're trying and you're trying to be present. And then on that note, what's one thing you actually have learnt from them that's changed how you see the world? I know you may have touched on this maybe earlier, but anyway, sorry.
Again, they look at things in a different way than we do. We might see it as black and white. They see it so many different ways. And I know many times I've been corrected by them and I'm going, no, you're wrong, and think about it and go, yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. Or it's a different way of looking at it and it's a much better way of doing it. So, yeah, definitely take on their input, what they say, because they see things very differently and in a much better way too. Like, again, I was saying, even treating people, they're both the most sweetest kids I've seen. They treat people with respect. They might be a bit quiet at times. And they don't seem like they're but they really are. They're always thinking. They put themselves last. They're both very humble in what they do. They're not big braggers. Like they might do something great. Like I know one instance recently with my son. It was hilarious. Obviously, he had a big fear of going to school events, and he would hide. To the point he was throwing up and stuff like this. Going, couldn't even go to school for the day. That just terrified him. And recently we just found out he was running this event, introducing. Yeah,
No
exactly.
way. That's awesome.
We didn't even know this happened, yeah?
How do you keep a secret like that? That's
exactly
great.
Right. I think we found it from one of the teachers. Me and Maria just looked at each other like, what? Like, when you plan to tell us this? He goes, oh, surprise. Okay.
That's awesome. What was the event? Can you share?
Just like a school, they couldn't, those assemblies, yeah, but he could not go to those things. Like, that was just impossible for him. The whole school there, the noise, was just too much for him, obviously. But yeah, to him, addressing the teachers and students and running the show, I'm like, dude, that's a big change. Something's got you there. What's got you there? And again, just, that's all the interventions have helped along the way. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's obviously a testament to yourself and your wife, obviously, with all the hard work that you put in.
Yeah, we try. That's all we can do.
Well, I think you do more than try. I think you need to give yourself a lot more credit than just try.
All right.
Because, you've lived in this world. We've seen that some parents, don't try. Let's go with that. And you guys are, putting in the effort. So I would say take the credit where credit's due for sure.
Yeah, cool. We'll do. Yeah.
Here's a question for you. On that note, if you could change one thing about how society treats neurodivergent people, what would it be?
Yeah, open understanding. I think there's been moments in both their lives where they've gone well and truly out of their safety net and pushed themselves beyond. Probably leadership in their roles have seen them. We know what they're capable of normally, and they've gone well and truly beyond and put themselves out in the line and, getting shut down. I'm not saying ask for a special favour, but recognise that, you know what, you went about, again, well and truly beyond what you normally do, or definitely out your character, and you know what, you should get a pat on the shoulder for that. I think they both had to go at student leadership roles.
That's great.
Yeah, they tried, but they got shut down, which, again, why would you shut down someone who's, very quiet, very held back, and who's actually trying to make a difference out there, and you just shut them down, which I found really disappointing. And again, they tried the next year again and got shut down again, which really, infuriated, because, they've, especially when you've given them saying, you know what, you've done great, you've got a shot at this, and then shut them down. I just found that a bit disappointing. But, they both had tough skin and went through it and said, no big deal. Try again next year again. So
it's a great attitude to have, but what do you think is the reason behind shutting them down? Is it education? Is it not understanding, not enough knowledge?
I don't know. Is it maybe favoritism? Maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. In my opinion, that could be a favoritism thing. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so you're saying from one student to another, or
that was in one instance where I look at it. But again, I think people look at it as being inferior. That's not. It wouldn't be a case of being inferior. Again, like I said, they look at things very differently. They treat people very differently. They treat everyone as equal. Maybe some people just care about my little community or my little group. They just think of the big picture. What's the bigger outcomes of all of this, and how's this going to affect people? Like they really drill into things. Like, we might just look at, like I said, A, B, and C. They look at from A to Z, 1, 2, 3. And even hieroglyphics, it's like they look into things very differently than I would say I would look into something. So, yeah. I think they should give people a fair show. Where a lot of people just cut them off, write them off straight away, which is really wrong. Yeah,
absolutely. Because obviously, as you and I know, it builds confidence, self-esteem, discipline, all those traits that we need to function and navigate the world. So, absolutely agree with you on that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not a big person for speaking, so yeah, better with me.
I think you're doing a great job thus far.
Right. Fair enough.
We're almost there, mate. We're almost there. So what advice would you give to other parents who have just received an autism diagnosis for their child?
First, breathe it in, because, again, initially I was very skeptical on it. So I would say just breathe it in, get all the interventions and help you can get. Obviously, there is a lot of help out there, no matter what, from, people like yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, departments. Again, you've done a great job with my son.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
but just grab every opportunity you can get. Try. Don't worry. It might not work the second, the third time. It maybe take 10 times, but eventually, just give it a go. Even just try everything possible. Eventually, you might find a lot. I know with my son, martial arts, that's his life now. That's just no matter what form of martial arts, from wrestling, WWE, Krav Maga, boxing. He absolutely loves it. You just got to find that trigger. Soccer was huge and is a big part of his life at one stage there too, but he's had a slight turn there. So as my daughter, obviously she's gone from martial arts to dancing, and again, that's all. That's just a big thing: dance. So just give them, how would you explain it? Try to find that one thing they do love, and let them excel at it, because they will excel at it, and they will. Yeah, you'll be very proud of what they can achieve from it. So, yeah,
that's really great advice, because I can only imagine, and I've not experienced it, how difficult it would be for a family where they get that diagnosis and you try things and it's just not working, and you're tired and you're frustrated, and and I hear you, what you're saying about just try everything. But what sort of advice would you give to, a family that has sort of exhausted all possibilities? What do you do there?
Yeah, that's a good question. Even ask the child. They might be a bit young still, but just try to work out in their ways what they want to do. They'll do it when they're ready. Yeah, it's just some things you can push, some things you can't push. But and some things you have to push, because I know there's been, we're not going to school. Well, you have to go to school. Yeah, that's a simple thing. You need to go to school. So just baby steps. Even there's 10 steps to get to that big step. Just work on that baby step. Just work on that, the initial, maybe going out the front door. That's a big thing in itself.
That's really good advice. Yeah. Definitely need to be an advocate for that then.
Yeah, just baby steps. That's all I can say, yeah.
And that's it for anything we do, right? I think that the society and the world, and especially the world we live in now, there's so much pressure to perform and, things like that. You've got to get it right now. You've got to be perfect.
Yeah.
So it's really good advice of taking it one step at a time.
Exactly right. Again, maybe the imperfections that they have is what makes them perfect. Just don't know. Everything has to be, again, nothing has to be black and white. Just work what you got with, and just slow baby steps. You'll get there. Just, doesn't have to happen today. Doesn't happen tomorrow. It might happen next year. There's been things there where I know a simple thing of just going to the shop to buy something, a simple item, could not do it. Again,
wow,
it was just baby steps. We're going to the shops. Okay, let's just walk up to the shop today. No, we've done that. Next step is ask a question. Can I have this? Yes. Can I have that loaf of bread, please? Yes. Okay. You got that started. Next step is, all right, that's it. You don't have to buy 2 items, 3 items. You can do that next time. Just pay for it and walk away. So simple thing of buying a loaf of bread took many years, I think.
But we got there in the end, right?
And then in the end, he just wants to do it himself now. Yeah. So just simple things like that. Yeah. Sometimes it oozes more confidence than me. And I go, okay, I'm pretty impressed. It's like sometimes, why might you go do this? Because I'm.
Well, having worked with him, I totally understand that. Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. That's so good. And that's what you want. I'm not a parent, obviously, but that's what a lot of all parents want.
Yeah.
For their kids to succeed in this world, basically.
Right. Just a simple, that might have been a simple thing of buying a loaf of bread. But for us, that was just
huge.
Huge. My God actually did it.
And that's all you can ask for, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's good. It's really, thank you for sharing that, because I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there that may have just gotten their diagnosis and, struggling and frustrating and scared and all those emotions. So you sharing that story, I'm sure they'll appreciate it. So thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
So moving forward, what are you most proud of? I mean, you've said a lot of this already as we've been talking, either in your own journey or your children's.
Probably my children's journey, just them giving everything a go, A lot of things which has been so hard to do in their lives. It's just been, don't know what the reason for being is. Just, at the end of it, just giving it a go. Doesn't matter if you fail at it, just give it another go again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
How about yourself?
Oh, geez. I don't like talking about myself very much. I'm
Oh,
not.
now I'll put you on the spot. That's all right. You don't have to. You don't
No,
have
I'm
to.
just not that. I'm not that kind of person. I just go roll the punches, do what I have to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't really dwell on myself at all. Maybe I should, but again, maybe not
Yeah.
enough time, or I'm just not that kind of person. I just worrying on what's going on about me. Once everyone else is happy, I'm happy. Just that's that's the way I prefer it. If everyone's happy, I'm happy. So just let's keep it that way. Yeah. So
Yeah. Fair enough.
maybe
Fair
just trying to
enough.
keep everyone happy keeps me happy. Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing, right? Because what's
Yeah.
the saying? I mean, what is it? Happy life, happy wife, happy life, or something to
Correct.
that
Yeah.
effect as well.
That's right. But obviously, you've got three different people in the house plus a dog. Trying to keep everyone
A
happy.
lot of personalities,
Yeah,
yeah.
a lot going on there. So just trying to, yeah,
Yeah.
jump.
No, you're definitely a humble guy. Obviously, we've seen each other and know each other quite well, having
Yeah,
worked with your son. So,
yeah,
no, you're definitely that. And that's really nice to hear and see.
yeah. Cool.
So, what's one goal or dream you're working towards right now, either personally or for your family?
Although my son, like I said, he's really loves his martial arts. And we're really hoping that one day he obviously that's the field he wants to go down. Obviously, hopefully, he can just find someone to he can find the right people, and hopefully, one day open up his own gym or some sort of place where he can teach martial arts himself and have his. Obviously, I would love to work with him too because I do have a passion for it myself.
Oh, that's good.
I guess I'll be the cleaner, cleaning all the mess. But hey,
Father and son duo. I love it.
yeah, that's for him. And my daughter, same thing. I know she's really into her dancing, so I don't know if we have that sort of dance martial
There
art
you go.
side by side or on top of each other. But yeah, stuff like that. I would definitely love to work
That's
with them
really good.
like that. It's difficult for them. They probably their future. Obviously, like I said, people don't want to give them a go, so we have to do it ourselves. Yeah, so that's all I'd like to do with them. If and obviously, money's a huge factor. There's not a lot of it going around.
No, unfortunately, at the moment, no, it's a real struggle. You're right.
But yeah, we'll just try and make it work somehow. That's my goals for them. Just to
That's really, really good. I didn't know that he's so invested. I mean, I'm biased, so at the
yeah,
end of the day, I love martial arts as well. So that's really good. I love it.
yeah. That's hopefully, but they
And the dancing, what kind of dancing does your daughter do?
just all sorts of dancing. More, I think I don't know they call it young pop dancing or
Come on, Adrian, you got to know these
yeah,
things.
no, just that's yeah. Well, that's stuff. She tries to get me involved in that, and every limb hurts and cracks and pops, and it's
I know
beyond me.
that feeling.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beyond me. But yeah, so
Well, there you go. Look, martial arts and dancing, they work with each other. I mean, there was a boxer that his mother forced him to learn ballet at a young age, so it all ties in nicely.
yeah, that's right. Get those toes working, eh?
Absolutely. That's great. That's really good to hear. I love it. We're almost there. So,
Yeah.
is there anything we haven't talked about that you think is important for people to understand about your story?
With most, geez, have a look. With most things in life, I feel like everything's a struggle. Yeah, I know with both my two, they both did love their martial arts, and especially with my son and daughter. People look at it, frown upon sometimes. They go, well, martial arts or boxing, it could have a bad stigma behind it, bad people in the industry and that. And honestly, everyone I've come across in this industry have been great. They're probably the most kindest, genuine people you ever meet. There's no judging. It doesn't matter what level you're at, if you're at the beginner or at the top, everyone's equal. There's no, I'm better than you, that kind of, they definitely don't have that attitude. And that's been great with both of them. Being accepting, that's acceptance is a huge thing. Probably something in the world most people don't accept just because you look different or you talk different. I think I feel it myself. I talk a little bit. Obviously, the way I speak with stutters and stuff like that. People just look at me and like, okay, he's judging me. Like, why? There's no need for it. Yeah, there's people don't need to be so much judgmental out there in the world. But obviously, especially in the boxing or martial arts world, you don't get that. It's genuine people. They're there for a reason. They want to teach you. They want to teach you the right way. They don't teach you to go bash up people. That's a last resort. They teach you how to de-escalate things, how to speak to people. Just calm the situation down. It's not about bashing people's heads in. It's not about that whatsoever. It's teaching you life skills, how to de-escalate things. Just calming down your normal daily life things. You might be pressured on life too much. Just stop, have a breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. Just pause for 10 seconds, focus. Just those kind of things. That's just a simple break here and there for 10 seconds can make a huge difference in your day. I know even with my son, sometimes it just gets too much. We stop. Just close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out. Just concentrate on your breathing. And that's all. He looks at me and goes, yeah, that worked. Thanks for that. Just a very simple thing of that, yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice to share. And thank you for emphasizing that stuff with the martial arts because, you know, having been in the industry myself for 25, 30 years, you get a lot of that, oh, why do you want to fight? Why are you doing it? Did something happen to you? And it's like, no, I'm just, you know, and you do meet the most humbling people. I mean, it's amazing. Like, you know, everyone thinks you're rough as guts or because you're training and you're fighting. But for me, from what I do, it's teaching, especially working with young people, teaching them to fight so they don't. Use your words, use your body. And you're right, you know, people get judged simply by being different and doing things like that. But, you know, I wish we did live in a world where no one was judged. But
yeah, that's just the way it is. That's human nature, I guess. Yeah, it's just some people do it more than others. Yeah.
Exactly right. But yeah, education's a big key too, I think.
Yeah, massive. Absolutely massive. Just no matter what you do, it don't have to be martial arts. But
no, that's right, exactly.
Yeah, there's some great people out there, great leaders, and they definitely can turn your life around. Getting the right people, even with the schools and teachers, you know, you can get the bad teacher, which I know they've set the kids back at times, and you've got yourself a great teacher, and they've progressed. And
then they thrive,
they thrive, exactly right. You just got to find, that's probably what I said earlier too, and just find that right thing that makes them thrive. You know, that's that one little thing. Everyone's got that little thing that drives them.
Yeah, absolutely right. That's what I say as well. You know, if you find that one thing to make it, exactly. It's great. Adrian, I've got to say it's been amazing speaking with you today. You're definitely an advocate for the martial arts, obviously for your family, and I love how much you love your family. Just one last thing. How can people connect with you or learn more if they have a similar experience?
That probably for yourself. I don't really do
yeah, I can definitely do that. That's not a problem.
I don't really do the social thing. I don't do, you know, all that stuff. That's not me. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like to stay in my little world where I am, and I don't really get in people's comments and stuff like that. That's just not what I do. But I'm happy to speak to people if they want. Yeah,
no worries.
I've got nothing. That's great. I've got nothing to hide. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate your time. And, we've almost hit the hour, so thank you so much.
No problem.
And have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.